This is Sophie Heller, and this is an SAT short passage question. In this question, we're talking about truck drivers, and we have these two different passages. One is talking about these truck drivers within these brutal working conditions, and they're driving thousands of miles, and they have to travel, and they actually live in their trucks, and it's really bad. It's hazardous to your health. So this is kind of the realities of truck driving. So realities, we might even say harsh realities. And passage 2 is a little bit different. So passage 2 is saying people don't often think about food arriving at the supermarket, but when we do think about it, it's usually environmental. But we're often forgetting about these truck drivers. So truck drivers are often forgotten about. Although some Americans idealize the job, they associate it with freedom, independence. This is kind of different than what we're seeing in passage 1, though. So people think it's about freedom, they idealize it, but it's really about living in your truck, driving thousands of miles. It's a hard job. So let's see the differences between this. So I'm going to call this passage more like going against conventional belief. And that's a bit of a long word to write, long couple of words rather, but let's look over here. So we want something that passage 2 does, that passage 1 doesn't do. So with these kind of questions, I like to understand the passages first, which we've already done, and then I like to go through our answer choices and see where do these line up. So does this go to passage 1? Does it go to passage 2? Does it go to neither? This is going to be a way to really systematically weed out anything that's not going to be good. So choice 1, indulges in a fantasy. We don't really see passage 2 indulging in a fantasy, though. We see passage 2 saying that most people indulge in this fantasy. They think that truck driving is about freedom, but it's really not. So I wouldn't say that. Choice number 2, describes a profession. That's more passage 1. So passage 1 is talking about how the truck drivers drive thousands of miles, what they do, the frequency of traffic accidents. So passage 2 doesn't really describe it. It just says it's not this conventional belief that we have. Choice 3, summarizes an era. I don't see this in either passage, so we're talking about truck driving in general, not a certain era of truck driving. Criticizes an experiment. This isn't an either. We don't see this experiment of truck driving. We're just telling it like it is. So we're left with choice E, debunks a myth, but that's good. So debunking something is rejecting it or making it out to be false. And we have this myth like freedom, independence, camaraderie, and passage 2 is saying these truck drivers, it's not like this. So it's this conventional belief is being debunked. So choice E is going to be good.